Okay, so when you're ready to cut, you can, well, first of all, you could sign into Cricut Design Space on your phone and then just use the Bluetooth with the maker wherever. But I'm going to show you how to print or plug in the maker into your TEC and just do it that way without using a phone at all. So I have the maker cart, and so I'm going to go back here. It needs to be, there should be two white cords. One goes into the computer and the other plugs into the wall. So you do have to plug in the power cord. And then the other one is just a USB cord, which goes in one of your USB ports on your computer. So you just hopefully always do it the wrong way the first time, but there it is. So now the maker is plugged into my TEC. And so I'm just going to open it. And when I raise the top, it kind of just opens for you. And you turn it on by pressing the power button. And it'll kind of warm up a minute. So then you need to prepare your mat. So I'm going to use the blue mat because that's just the one I'm comfortable with. And so you take off the protective screen. And I'm going to give you a piece of vinyl that's 12 inches across and 10 inches down. So loading your vinyl onto your mat, there is a sort of shiny side and then there's a really shiny glossy side. And this is really important. You want to put it on there with the glossy side down. The super glossy clearish side has to be down and the other side is white. And so I'm going to put it at the top of the mat and try to match it up before I lay it down. There might be little, little pieces of debris that stick up. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. In the Cricut tools, you can grab this guy and sort of scrape it a little bit gently so that you make sure it sticks. And then it's pretty much ready to go into the machine. Okay, so putting it in the machine, I always kind of pretend that the hole here is like an arrow. So I made sure that the vinyl is at the top, and then it slides in between these two little sections there. And then this button loads it. And it's really better to do this with two hands, but I'm holding the camera. But you want to sort of put pressure that way, like towards the machine while you press the button. So I'm actually going to kind of do it with my knee here and just kind of push it forward. So I push the button and kind of gently guide it as it goes in. And you'll know if it's, you got to make sure the top of the mat is up there. And then the blade kind of moves itself over. And so now we're ready to tell the computer to tell the machine to cut. So my mat is loaded, machine's on, it's ready to go. I've saved it so that if anything happens, I can just open it back up. So I'm going to go to Make It. And it shows you how it will be on the screen. It always is going to give you about a 1/4 inch around it just to make sure, there's a little bit, in case you didn't get it exactly on the line, that's okay. So here's the next really important thing. We need to mirror because we're going to flip it onto the shirt. So it needs to be backwards, a mirror image. So I click that mirror button and it's green. And then I'm going to go to Continue. And since I've already turned the machine on and loaded the mat, that part was ready to go. And so now I need to choose the material. And you want to find, let's see if I can make this wider, Everyday Iron-On. And you can see here it's reminding you that the mirror needs to be on. So if you look over here, mine says mirror on. And make sure it's shiny side down, which is the glossiest side, which we've already made sure of. And then it's ready to cut because we've already loaded our tools and our mat. So it says press go. And by press go, it means on the machine there's this blinking Cricut button. And I press that. And it goes. When it's done cutting, it'll prompt you to unload your mat. So you press that button again, it'll slide out. And then you can just power off the machine, close the bottom, close the top, unplug everything and wheel it back. And then you'll just want to carefully peel the vinyl off the mat. And using this blue mat that's been well used, it comes off pretty easily, but you want to try not to crease it. So slide it off at an angle. Got kind of a 45-degree angle going on here so that it doesn't crease. And you can see it's cut and it's ready for weeding and ironing, which we will do together. So let me know.